about a week ago, the 49ers traded Trey Lance, their first round, number 3 overall pick in the 2021 draft to the Dallas Cowboys for a 4th round pick. Just a quick reminder of what the 49ers gave up to get Trey Lance. They moved up from 12th to the 3rd spot in the draft to get him. In exchange with the Dolphins, the 49ers gave up 2 first-round picks in 2022 and 2023 and a 3rd-round pick. Now, over the last 2 seasons, Trey with the 49ers played in 8 games, only starting in 4 of them. Only played in 2 games last year before having that season-ending ankle surgery. And last week, the 49ers decided to move off of Trey Lance. And on Thursday, Kyle Shanahan shared some spicy truth on KNBR radio. And I think we have that sound right now.
Let's go.
I mean, when you move up and it doesn't work out, definitely that's a mistake. But we did like our decisions on when we looked into the veterans, the 2 veterans that were available, and we didn't get that. And we knew what way we were going to have to go 2 years from then. We knew we needed to go up and get a quarterback at that time.
Yes.
He's admitting defeat, that the trade up for Trey was a mistake. Mm-hmm. And at this point, you don't know who or what Trey Lance can be. But for the 49ers, this whole situation
messy
was a huge bust. You gave up 2 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick. And in return, you ultimately got a 4th-round pick.
Yes.
For Trey Lance. That's you don't have to be like
it's not same.
No. You don't have to be like a business mind, smart human to understand that that is not okay. And let's be honest, if the 49ers didn't have Brock Purdy just literally fall into their laps,
that part,
we would be looking at this whole situation in a completely different lens. They have this Brock Purdy safety net right now. And if they didn't, their future could have been ruined with the whole Trey Lance situation.
100%. I mean, also, we could look at it the other way where it's like, if they didn't have Brock Purdy and that safety net that we don't know how well it's going to hold yet. You know, we have a very small sample size of the awesomeness that was Brock Purdy in a dire situation for the 49ers, right? Like, it was like at that point, you're like, all right, wrap this up, put that guy in. Nobody thought he was going.
Knew.
Nobody knew.
Mr. Irrelevant, the very last pick in the NFL draft.
Nobody knew. Nobody expected it. If that wasn't the case, I wonder where we would be at with Trey Lance right now, because that obviously was a push.
Oh yeah, they had no. Well, with Trey, it was a push out.
Yes,
or
like
putting Brock Purdy in, it was
no. What Brock Purdy did was a push out for Trey Lance.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
If Brock Purdy hadn't done even,
he stole the job.
100%.
He stole the job.
100%. So it is a very small sample size of what we have seen Brock Purdy do. So that safety net is what. How well is it going to hold this season, right? Mm-hmm. Was it just in the moment? You know, you're on a high, like, and you just keep, and the San Francisco 49ers are stacked. That's another thing. He had so many weapons, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Making it easier. Not that it is easy. I'm just saying, like.
He also has an incredible coach.
An incredible,
which, Kyle Shanahan.
Quarterback whisperer, although he couldn't figure it out with Trey Lance, which is like what's quite interesting about that. And it seems, what's interesting to me is like, it seems that you knew before Brock Purdy went out there that Trey Lance was not it. I firmly believe that.
I just don't think Trey Lance had played enough football up until that point. He was kind of in that COVID year with college.
Okay.
We didn't get a ton of opportunities, obviously, behind Jimmy G. Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, when he got the opportunity, he got injured right away. But I want to focus on Brock Purdy right now in the situation that the 49ers are in, okay? Because last season, when Purdy came in as the third-string quarterback, literally the only choice that they had, there was no pressure on him.
No, not at all.
You are literally nicknamed Mr. Irrelevant as the last pick in the NFL draft. Now, teams have 8 weeks of tape on Brock Purdy. He went 7-1, an incredible start to his NFL career. Won every game he completed. His only loss came to the Eagles in the NFC Championship game when he injured his elbow, which is the next big point. Brock Purdy is coming off a major injury. So instead of being able to prepare and get in shape and do everything you want to do to be ready for the start of the season this offseason, he's been rehabbing. And it is his throwing elbow. That is a huge deal, especially in a violent sport where defensive players' goal is to literally take you down. And when they know you have an injury somewhere on your body,
you make an excellent point.
It's a scary situation.
The injury is a huge factor coming into the season and what he has and hasn't been able to do in the offseason. You make a huge point. But to me, the thing was like, to compare Trey Lance and Brock, right? Immediately, to me, Brock Purdy passed that eye test.
Oh, yeah.
Trey Lance never passed the eye test.
Well, the other thing besides the eye test, he also won the locker room.
Right.
Which is, honestly, as a quarterback, half the battle.
Correct.
You got to have your guys literally give it their all for you. They believe in you. You believe in them. That's how teams win championships. I've covered a lot of championship teams across all sports.
Yeah.
The number one thing, everybody has to buy in.
Right.
Everybody has to be on the same page.
Right.
And that starts with the leader of your team, your quarterback. So if your guys believe and trust your quarterback, like they did with Jimmy G, which is why I think Trey Lance why he never really got that opportunity to be that guy, because everyone loved Jimmy G.
Yeah.
And then when he got hurt, and then when Trey got hurt, and Brock Purdy stepped up and just blew everybody away, he immediately won over the locker room.
Yeah, there were so many, right, like unlucky things that happened to Trey Lance in his time with the 49ers. As much as I agree with you that this injury with Brock Purdy is something that's very important coming into the season, what I think that's on his side is just like the Niners are stacked in every way. He has pressure, but it's not like the pressure, of Anthony Richardson over with the Colts. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, he's a rookie quarterback coming in, but like no Jonathan Taylor. I feel like he's coming into a well-oiled machine.
He is.
And that's what's going to help him. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and we're going to see quickly that injury was way more than they're telling us. Because they've kind of made it seem like he's cool. He's fine.
I mean, it was a UCL tear.
It
which,
was.
like, if you are a baseball fan, that's Tommy John surgery. He didn't get Tommy John surgery, but it's a longer recovery than you think, especially when it's like your main job and the main, I guess,
the motion.
The motion, what you do to win games, what you do every single play,
what you have to do,
I don't know. I love an underdog story, so I would love Brock Purdy to make the NFC Championship game again, ultimately win a Super Bowl, but there's a lot of pressure he's got to live up to. And they still don't have Nick Bosa. Like, let's remember that. He's still holding out for his contract. He was a 2019 Defensive Rookie of the Year, reigning Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
He is a huge piece of their defense. So I don't want to say there's question marks for the 49ers because Kyle Shanahan is like an offensive genius. He just figures things out, and they have such an incredible core and weapons going on up in San Francisco. But it's going to be interesting to see how ready to go Purdy is, if they can get Bosa week 1.
I don't think there's anything wrong in how you just said question marks. I think that's fair. It's just we really don't know what is going to happen to start the season for the 49ers. And it's either going to go really well, like they're going to pick up right where they left off.
Yeah.
Or it's going to start no bueno. It's one or the other. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
5 days.
Oh my goodness!
NFL
5
season
days
starts in 5 days. We're gonna learn a lot. We're gonna learn a lot. It is right around the corner. We're gonna take a quick break here, but when we come back, we have NFL Network's Cynthia Freeland joining us at the bottom of the hour. We're also gonna talk about why Joe Burrow hasn't been paid yet. We touched on this a little bit earlier with Joy Taylor. Don't go anywhere. All that coming up next.